Can you can you describe what challenges that Justin Fields presents for a defensive lineman?
Um, well, obviously he's very mobile. He's elusive. So I could speak for a lot of defensive linemen, and it's not fun playing a guy that knows how to move in the pocket and knows how to move at the right time, step up in the pocket. So I'll probably say just being mobile and elusive.
Tyler Donahue.
Good morning, Jason. A couple of weeks ago when we heard you on Media Days, you were talking about some new moves you were excited to work out, just kind of your nuanced technique that you had worked on in the last 10 months or so. How did that help you out against Indiana on Saturday? It seemed like you were consistently applying pressure. How would you evaluate your week 1 performance?
Yeah, I think I just did a good job of just setting the tone of like the speed and the level I wanted to play at. Just the run, obviously playing physical in the run. Striking, seeing my keys and stuff. And then when it came to the pass rushing, the get off was already there because I was striking. So then I just had to see my man, see his hands, and react off of it. And then as the game progressed, I started like getting a better feel, just playing with it, gaming, and then I was able to get a few hurries. I didn't get home, but it's just going to come with more repetition. You just got to few it. So. Yeah.
Greg Pickle.
Good morning, Jason. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Obviously, Justin Fields, you talked about him, but as you watch tape of this Ohio State offense, what else stands out about what they did at Nebraska and what you guys will face this weekend? What jumps off the tape to you about them?
Just how athletic their O-line is. They really get out of their stance and run, and then in pass pro they're pretty well. They do a pretty good job as well. But they have good receivers. They can spread you out and stuff like that. So they're very dynamic on offense, but I'm very confident in what we can do. I'm not putting anything past us. So.
Tobias Wilborn.
Hey, Jason, hope you're doing well today, man. Thanks for taking out time for us.
No problem.
No problem, bro. What did it do to you guys to lose Jesse for that rest of that fourth quarter? And then how does that impact the first half against Ohio State, considering what their offense is?
Jesse's my guy. He's a dog. He just brings a certain toughness to the game when he's in. But so it's gonna be tough, but it's the next man up mentality. We have Lance stepping up, so we're gonna see what he got. And I believe in Lance, believe in everyone on our team. So no, I'm not really worried. When he comes back, he's gonna be booming stuff. So I'm proud of that.
Audrey Schneider.
Morning, Jason. Since Nubias took my question, I'll ask you about practice yesterday. Did you get a sense yesterday that Indiana was flushed and you guys had moved on? What did you maybe see or notice that has you believing that everybody's totally moving forward?
I feel like it's O State week. I don't know why we'd still be hanging on to the past game. It's a 1-0 mentality. We didn't get it. Now we're trying to be 1-0 this week. And it's O State week. We gotta be locked in. They're a dynamic offense, and we're a dynamic defense. So we gotta do everything we can to be as focused. So I don't think anyone was really hung up on that loss. You can't do that if you want to win. You gotta move on to the next thing. So we was all moved on.
Mark Brennan.
Jason, this is obviously a big year for you. What was it like to finally get out there on the field after kind of, you think you're going to have a season and you don't think you're going to have a season, then you know you're going to have a season. What was it like to finally get out there, maybe show your stuff a little bit?
Felt good because, like you said, it was just so many times where you just thought we weren't going to play and, things were going to be pushed back and all the work you put in was going to be for nothing. But, just finally stepping on the field, it was kind of crazy because, it was my first season starting and everything. So that was kind of mellowed down because, no one had been playing, but it gave me some jitters at first. But then once I started playing, I was like, yeah, I'm starting here. I can play with these guys. It was fun. But it just felt so good being out there after so long and so much uncertainty. So it felt good.
Rich Scarcella?
Jayson, can you describe the leadership that you've received from Shaka Toney, and what kind of role model has he been for you?
Yeah, Shaka's like he's my big brother. Ever since I got here, he's taken me under his wing and just showed me the ropes, on the field, off the field, and he's just a relatable leader. He's like he knows how to relate to everybody, and I think that's like one of his best skills. He knows how to relate to all types of people, and he can talk to you. He knows how to teach you in the right way, approach you. So I'm really appreciative of what Shaka, has done for me and what I do for Shaka as well. Like that's the thing. It works both ways. I help him, he helps me, and I feel like that's why our duo and our relationship is just going to continue to get stronger.
Tyler Donahue?
Jayson, with the news we got on Noah Cain yesterday, we're all expecting to see more of Kevon and Keziah out of the backfield. You've had a chance to see that on the practice field pretty consistently. What are defenses going to be facing with those two true freshmen? How are they different from one another? How do they complement each other? And what's your confidence level that the Penn State ground game can be strong moving forward?
Yeah, I got a lot of confidence in those young guys, especially them, because they both just bring their different types of styles to the game. Like Kevon is like a big kid, strong legs. He's gonna run through you, and he's just gonna keep on running. And he runs without gloves. He's just tough, and he's just gonna get them extra yards. And then Keziah, he's elusive. He's strong as well. And you guys saw the tape. He jumped over a defender in lines that he has insane athleticism. So I feel like the more reps they get, they're just gonna get better. And that's all we're trying to do, just get better. And we have a lot of young guys having to step up, and I feel like they're gonna do a good job when the moment comes.
Elton Hayes?
Morning, Jayson. How are you doing today?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, thank you. Hey, looking at last week's game against Ohio State, Justin Fields obviously is known for his dual threat abilities, but Ohio State has two running backs in Sermon and Master Teague, who both carried the ball extensively between the two of them. Just kind of what challenges does that present, having facing two running backs of that caliber, and what have you all kind of noticed just in looking at the little film that you have on those two guys?
I push it every other game. We have to stop the run, and then we can get to have fun and pass rush. I didn't really notice anything too crazy, but we stop the run, we can pass rush. That's all I'm about to say.
Ben Free?
Hey, Jayson, thanks for doing this today. What did you see from Joey Porter Jr. and him making his first start? And what is his ceiling like?
Joey's gonna be crazy. Joey's like a prototype, lanky, tall kid. He's gonna be really good. And the way he played, it was crazy. Because I remember on his sack, I was coming into the A gap. I was sure I was gonna go come get him, so I was gonna flip my hips, and I just saw Joey just running in and smack him. It was crazy. I never seen someone like that come in that type of speed. So yeah, I'm really excited for Joey and what he can be. His potential is whatever he wants to be in. And the crazy part is that he's still growing into his body. He's not at his full man strength yet. So I'm really excited to see how he develops and everything. And he wants to work too. So that's the good thing about him. So I'm excited for Joey Porter.
Partha Pie?
Hey, Jayson, appreciate the time this morning. This is something you kind of answered already at media day, but I wanted to check in again. You had very solid game. Obviously, I think the second highest pass rush win percentage in the country against Indiana. In your third year on campus, is there a certain pressure of wanting to show that Jayson Oweh has arrived?
I always have like goals for myself, so it's just internal pressure. I want to reach goals, but in terms of external pressure, you guys create it. Like I said, you guys always create the narrative. I just have goals I want to reach and things I want to do. And if I beat those and keep on, progressing, I feel like it's just going to tell itself. So I don't respond to pressure for real.
Tyler Donahue.
Jason, if I could ask about two guys in that room with you, one, an older guy in Dion Barnes and what he brings to that room coming back as a former player, and then the other, a guy getting his first long look with Akeem Beamon. What did he do this offseason to put himself in that position, and how did he handle an expanded role in week one?
So wait, you're asking me about Dion? What was the first part?
Yeah, Dion's influence in that room, his impact, and then also Akeem's rise in that room.
Okay. Yeah, Dion, like I said, Dion is like master splinter. Like since he's came here, he's taken me under his wing and really tried to like get me right in all aspects of the game in terms of hand work. Like over the summer, like he just really helped me in terms of everything, like hand work, film, just understanding the game more. So I really owe a lot of my development to him. And the thing about him, he's very relatable as well. He has a lot of what Shaka brings to the table and him as well. So he's going to have a very great career. I'm very appreciative of Dion Barnes and what he brings to the table. And then Hakeem Beamon. Beamon's a dog. You guys saw it in the game. And the crazy part, he's still just trying to get it as well. Like athletically, he's a freak. He doesn't even weigh that much yet. He hasn't even grown into his full body yet. But, he can pass rush as well, pay the run. So I'm really excited for Hakeem Beamon. I think his potential is first round. High first round, too.
Mark Brennan.
Jayson, could you expand a little bit on Dion Barnes? Are there specific things that he's able to kind of get across to you? And you touched on this a little, but the age difference is kind of close there. How much easier is it? Not that it's difficult to relate to other coaches, but when you have somebody who's that close to you in age, the communication, I have to believe, is at a little bit of a different level.
Nah, it's just he just knows how to, obviously a guy like me, I just started playing football, so like a lot of terminology that coaches use, I didn't understand, and I was just trying to like make knowledge of it. But he knew how to really break it down and explain it to me in terms of like, just understanding it, knowing how to apply it in the right places. And I was really grateful for that because I just didn't understand it at that level, like in the prior years. So it's just the way how he approached it to me and how he explained it as well. I would say it was the biggest thing.
Jayson, we lost your camera. I don't know if you can put your camera. There we go.
Yeah, man. Someone was calling.
Rich Garcella.
Jayson, you mentioned you were asked about last week's game. You had good numbers. The defense had good numbers. But what does the defense have to do better this week in order to beat Ohio State?
I feel like we just burned out. I feel like we just got to keep on applying the same pressure that we did in that second half of the game. We were just flying around. We were, I feel like in the first part of the game, we stopped the run. We just got to continue to do that, and then apply the same level of intensity that we did in the past game that we did in the second half of the Indiana game. So I feel like if we just keep the intensity, the havoc that we were playing with, and a consistent level, we'll be fine. So I'm not really worried about that and what my guys are going to bring.
Tyler Donahue.
Jayson, do me a favor and look back at the Jayson Oweh who was wearing a Blair Academy uniform just a few years ago as a senior. thinking he had a lot figured out, but I'm sure you realize now probably didn't have much figured out about football. What's the scouting report on that young man versus where you are now? How far have you truly progressed that you can measure in your third year on campus?
And I progressed a lot. I progressed mentally, physically, just matured. Like a lot of people just mature physically in college. You got to mature mentally, and I feel like I've matured a lot mentally in just understanding what it takes to like survive and be successful. Not just survive, but be successful. And the Blair Jayson was just young and like very naive to everything and what what it took. So I'm really thankful for the progressions I've made and where the progressions I can make too, because I feel like I'm still only like 55% of what I can truly be. So I'm really happy where I'm going.
Dan Hope.
Hey, Jayson, I know when you were coming out of high school that your recruitment came down to Penn State and Ohio State. What was it about Ohio State that appealed to you at that time, and what ultimately made Penn State the right fit for you?
No, I don't care about what Ohio State did when I was young. I fell in love with Penn State because I love Penn State and the people, the atmosphere, the family orientation, the Coach Spence, what he was able to preach to me, the love of this place and the inner love of this place and what Penn State truly is, the connections, the networking, all that stuff. I fell in love with that, and that's all I got to speak about that.
We got two final questions here. Nabias Wilborn.
I know. Obviously, you said earlier you're looking forward, but what? And you may have already answered this, but what, if anything, do you take that was a positive from that game that you can carry over into the game against Ohio State?
Ohio State. That's all I'm on. Ohio State.
Tyler Donahue.
Jayson, this has been a year of like up and down emotions for everybody involved in college football. But when you look around the practice field, Micah's not there, Journey's not there, Noah's not there. Three of the marquee guys when people look at this 2020 Penn State roster. How do you feel like your group is moving forward with a long way to go this season? How are you keeping that focus? And is it strange at times to not see some of these names and faces involved on the practice field as you get ready for such a big game?
It's always like obviously you miss your guys because you have a relationship with them outside of football. But it's the next man up mentality, like I always say. I feel like we're gonna be fine. We haven't played football in a while. We're all still just we're a young group, and we're all still trying to find out how to play with each other. So I have faith that we'll bounce back and we'll be fine. A lot of good teams and winning teams started off bad. A lot of good Penn State teams started off bad. And I have full faith in our defense and our offense as well. So I'm not worried about any of that.